Hello, hello. Now I'm going to speak about the project called Building Resilience to Disasters and Climate Change. It's an orientation video. So, um, a little bit about myself. I teach at a College of Humanities and I teach business, tourism, archives in English. Our college has about 900 students, and we hold teaching in dual sphere called dual teaching, especially in tourism. So, when we speak about projects, we must think about the final product. What will our final product be? First of all, we're going to work in Google Sites to prepare a collective journal with teachers and students. As you can see, I have created a sample which we're going to fill in with the information we gather. And in the end, we're going to have a joint collective journal about disasters, about ways of recovering after disasters, about climate change, about steps to recover and overcome the climate change. This is the second step, joint essay. We are going to write a joint essay again in Google Docs. We are going to prepare Google Sites and the joint essay just starting from the second week because we have got to compile these two sources with the information we gather and present in the twin space. We're going to conduct activities, we're going to conduct an online meeting and some meetings outside our twin space. So this is the page in Google Docs called, the essay is called, Instead of Preventing Climate Change, We Need to Find a Way to Live with It. The next one, evaluation is also very important. So we're going to evaluate our work in Google Forms. We're going to fill in a questionnaire, the teachers and the students. Then we're going to do self-evaluation. Polls are also very common type of work in our project. Then we're going to disseminate our final product and the course of our product in social media, in your web pages, in your college or school pages, by organizing a lesson, an orientation lesson, and presenting them. Duration. I have already said it will last 8 weeks, plus or minus 1 or 2 weeks. We will have an online meeting at the end to share information we have about our countries. We're going to wrap up our work. We're going to play games, to do activities. We're going to do activities during our weeks as well. Each week will start with a new task. I have posted week 1. I will post week 2 as well for us to know what, especially what we're going to do. So we will start working on the Google Sites and writing the essay just from the second week. The work process. Most of the teachers have already done introductions. Students must also do introductions. They will do during the next week. They will present themselves, their hobbies, their likes, their schools, and etc. We have weeks 4 and 5. These weeks are devoted to holding orientation meetings with our peer students, organizing one lesson or lessons, a series of lessons, meetings with a professional who will raise awareness among students and with large audience. Each week we are going to answer a question connected with that very particular week task. You have already answered the question in talk wall. I really appreciate it. When students join us, they will be able to answer the question as well. So in our project, we're going to include the Earth Day, the 22nd of April, as part of our awareness. And sustainable development goals must be touched upon, especially number 13. The work process. Please add your students. We're going to speak about typical disasters and climate change influences in our country, in your country. We must describe disasters and how people behave before, during, and after disaster. We have got to include information on SDG 13 as part of awareness campaign. We have got to speak about the influence of climate change on disasters. We're going to speak about tips on how can we prevent climate change in our locations. For our people to be aware of how to recover after the disasters. What can be done to recover climate change? What steps are taken by local authorities or individual students? Posters, orientation lessons with the professionals are also to be held. We're going to have an online meeting to discuss the climate change in our locations. We're going to show PowerPoint presentation. We'll play a game or games, or we'll play games within the project. And lastly, the evaluation process. It will consist of 2 or 3 stages, and all of them will be fulfilled. So this is the task of week 1, which will last from 10 of March to 17 of March. Our students will introduce themselves in the student and teacher introduction section, and we will start introducing our country, the disasters that our countries face, the climate changes influences that our countries face. We're going to do a small survey among our peers, friends, to find out whether they are aware of climate changes, their influence on disasters, whether they know how to behave, and so on. Each week we're going to answer a question. This week's question was, what are the common disasters in your country? You have already answered the questions in Talkwall. And lastly, the tools that we're going to use. These are posts, Padlets, Talkwall, Google Sites, and Google Docs, where we're going to start writing our essay. The tools in the project, where I have already spoken about Google Sites, Google Forms, which can be used to create some surveys, Talkwall to collaborate and discuss, YouTube for uploading material, say dialogues between students, containing information from our project, posts. TwinSpace is going to be largely used, especially forum section. PPTs, animation is a welcome because we can create a number of animations using different types of material. We will use meetingwords.com for our online discussion and collaboration. And in the middle of the project, we will meet on this tool and play a Kahoot or some quiz. Padlets for introduction are useful. Videos can also be uploaded. It's so to say must, and Potun is also welcome. This much. If you have questions, feel free to write and discuss in our group. Thank you.